And then, of course, the end strategy of punching the desk. I didn't think that was the most effective rhetorical tool in my mind, but...
Bro, you're like a debate autist.
If you watch some of their older videos, like, they just don't wash their hair. Like, I was surprised when they streamed today. Their hair was like washed, like it looked clean and it looked brushed, and I was like, oh my god, this is...
Many say that autism and the trans stuff are kind of linked. A lot of these people are transphobes though. So, Aiden, what do you think about that? Autism and trans being linked? Is that anything in that?
Mr. Logic.
Hello.
Hello. I just want to tell you this is all because Trump won. You said I was coping. Jalyn has DM'd me that she's been crying for the last 3 days over this. And this was, I guess, the result of all of this. I don't know what to say. This is like coping to the next level.
Absolutely tragic to see that you're still coping about this, I must say.
Me?
You're not over it yet.
I am perfectly over it. I'm accepting of my new president. When the right-wing death squads come to my house, I'll tell them, listen, I'm a MAGA patriot. Spare my life.
Okay. Anyway, enough of your stupid fucking memes. I must say, I must be honest with you, okay? I don't blame you for not wanting to continue that conversation, but I think that you were concerned about the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think in the moment I thought, like, I wasn't really sure what was happening. I thought this was just gonna be like a chill, like, throwaway stream. It was late at night, and I didn't at that point know entirely what had just happened, and I didn't know this person didn't really sound mentally there, unpredictable, and I was just like, pretty nervous, like, in the moment.
Okay. What was your worst conception of what had happened in that moment?
I had thought that Jalyn had, like, went and, like, cut herself, like, and, like...
Why would you think that? What would give you that impression that Jalyn would do something like that?
Like, okay, good one, buddy.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Okay, so she said
But
she cut her hand. And in the moment, I just heard cut, her hand. And I was, like, thinking shit, like, self-harm. And I thought, in the moment, I didn't know what to think of it. And then Jalyn kind of implied it when why would I do something like that? Why would I do something like that? Like, even though Jalyn knew very well that she had punched something, which she later admitted. I don't know if she wanted my stream to be taken down, but she was very heavily playing into the she cut herself kind of thing.
Yeah. Jalyn was in chat a moment ago, and as much as a couple of people were saying it's too much of a risk to bring someone on that is, I mean, I'm surprised you gave them a shot in the first place. But
I've had Jalyn on before. Jalyn has never done something like that ever. And I just was, as I said, I was not expecting that. I know Jalyn's a little, like, crazy sometimes, but a lot of the weird people I talk to are, and just so you know, this I now know in hindsight, this was not a one-off thing. This is a picture of Jalyn breaking the wall in her room. She destroyed the drywall.
Wait, what? Really whoa. Okay, let's not skip over the best parts of this. Jalyn destroyed drywall. What? Tell me about that.
I just sent you the picture. Somebody sent this to me. The irony, I broke a piece of my wall. I bought the fix hole I made the last time I lost it. So the wall is just destroyed. I don't even know the context here. Jalyn's just talking about smashing shit.
No way, dude.
I don't...
Okay, so I'll just read this out. Lol, the irony, I broke the piece of wall I bought to fix the hole I made the last time I lost it. This morning, I was so close to smashing my iPhone, but I chose to take a broom handle, and I don't know what I even broke, but it was the smartest decision. Okay. I noticed that you were very respectful of the pronouns there, which, I'm not going to give you shit for. I find that very obnoxious. But do you feel that this is feminine behavior?
Okay, obviously not. Obviously not. The end of the day, the reason I am, like, a quote-unquote ally is because, okay, I wasn't really a great ally here tonight, but based on what I've been told, like, transitioning is, like, the best way for people with gender dysphoria to, like, the best treatment. I was debated into this position, so I try generally to be respectful of it, but I know I sound soy as fuck to your audience. I get it.
No, it's fine. To be honest with you, I generally, I tend to say what I see. right? I'm not being intentional about it. I'm not looking at someone and thinking, I'm going to call you a man because I know it upsets you. It's just if you look like a man, I'm going to call you a man just instinctively, right? So, you know, I'm not like, but, you know, at the end of the day, if someone wants to be respectful of someone's pronouns, like it's equally obnoxious to me. You get people who are like super upset for using the wrong pronoun, but that goes both ways, right? It's like you get the trans that are like, no, you've got to call them this pronoun, even though it's like a fella with a beard. And then you get the other side where someone looks like a woman and you could say she, and they go he, male, male, male. Both equally obnoxious to me, right?
Super annoying with like with the Ava Tyson shit. People are like saying say he, but like I get it, and the reason I don't really police it in others, but I try generally myself. Just you know, it makes people more receptive to conversations, and it, you know, I don't want to fucking make people like distressed if I don't have to. But yeah, I don't know.
And you know, I feel bad. Also, I don't want to like dwell on this too much, but I feel kind of bad for like maybe misrepresenting you earlier. Wonderful. What is your actual position on the trans kid stuff? Just say it plainly for everyone to hear.
So I have not done enough research, but as of now, it would see if the things about bone density, like irreversible changes to bone density, are true, and infertility are true. I have to read the studies, but if that is true, then I am against it. I am against it if there are irreversible side effects to it. So I have to read more into it though before I like conclusively say that. But as of now, yeah, I'm pretty against that. I think generally like I made stupid decisions when I was a kid that like I obviously like regret. I had like all these like I hopped between like 16 different political ideologies online, like, and I can't imagine like your sense of identity is so unstable as a kid that I can't imagine like I can imagine scenarios where like people may believe that they as a child identify more with another gender, and then that later turns out not to be the case. So I have to, and we don't have a lot of data on the regret rate for trans children. We have data on the regret rate for trans adults, which I admit is low, but I don't know about for children because we don't have enough data on that.
I mean, one of the problems you get from this discourse, particularly online, is you get trans people who are like trans as adults, and they think, oh, it would have been nice if I hadn't gone through a male puberty or whatever, right? But they're looking at it from their sole perspective, and they're not thinking about, or they don't care at some cases about detransitioners and stuff like that. In fact, detransitioners are often treated very badly by trans people because it, you know, some of it is because they become like these kind of like rightoid, like talking heads or points or whatever. But also, I just think that they've got like a natural disinclination to supporting them because it kind of undermines their life, I feel. But
yeah, no, I agree, and I think I don't know. I think that, yeah, we just don't know. We don't know the regret rate for kids. We don't know the regret rate for kids. The detransitioners I think are adults, if I remember correctly. There's as far as I know, there's no like surgery. I don't think surgery is allowed. I don't know about puberty blockers, but I don't think surgery is allowed for children in the U.S. But I don't know. I have to look more into it.
Basically, in some places in Europe, it's 18 plus, and it's different in some places, 16 with consent. But in America, in some places, if you're like 16. There are instances where you can get like a mastectomy, a double mastectomy, which is pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Like that doesn't seem like a great idea at all. Because like, obviously I don't have gender dysphoria, so I don't. It's not my lived experience, but like I definitely know that like I was led to like positions or like crazy ideas when I was a kid. So I can imagine similar things happening over there.
There are also these are more edge cases. And sometimes I feel like people try to ignore this, but there are some. I'm pretty sure there's some instances where even younger than 16, with parental consent, there's been some surgeries happening. Like, it's not like, you know, Matt Walsh talks about there being like millions of trans kids, you know, and stuff like that. It's not like to that level, but it's stuff that gets ignored and pushed to the side by like super pro-trans activists, and they don't want to actually contend with the reality of what's happening, and it's very frustrating.
Well, that's my problem, right? The reason I support this stuff is because the modern consensus I've seen is that, okay, like gender affirming care is a good treatment for gender dysphoria. But the problem I have with that is science evolves, and it evolves through open discussion. And when you prohibit open discussion or unwilling to engage in dialogue, presenting any like counter view, I feel like you're really isolating. You're like isolating your conclusion, and there's not like room for it to develop. And have we explored alternative methods? I mean, I'm against like the silencing of opposition on this subject. I think respectful opposing dialogue is good, which is what I was trying to do with mrow. Obviously, I did not pick a great candidate for Jalyn, a great representative for Jalyn's side of the argument. But...
No, sure. I mean, look, I'm sure there's people out there that could make stronger arguments. I mean, even Moist Critical fumbled with this. I don't know if you saw the Sneeko debate.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you know, it's very, very tricky topic.
Yeah, it's a hard one to argue for. But as of now, I'm pretty against it.
Okay, so anyway, talk me through what you thought of the old debate between mrow and Jalyn. Who do you think won?
Dude, are you really gonna ask me that, dude? I think mrow was very good faith in that debate. I thought that his takes, even though I might not have agreed with the minute details of certain things he was saying, I think it was a pretty good performance. In regards to Jalyn's performance, Jalyn did not refute what mrow was saying. It was just, you're wrong, present a study, it's wrong, it's fake. And then, of course, the end strategy of punching the desk. I didn't think that was the most effective rhetorical tool in my mind. But
bro, you're like a debate autist.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about rhetorical tool? You got to be fucking with me there, surely.
I am fucking with you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. No, mrow was actually, he's clearly looked into some of this stuff. He was hearing things that I've kind of read about and whatnot. So,
I was impressed, and I want to say none of this would be possible without Lumpy Willie. I just got to shout the guy out. He's the one that told me to cover this. Lumpy Willie, great guy, friend of your stream. Wanted me to just got to promote the guy.
Well, actually, I'd quite like to add mrow because I think he's in chat if he wants to hop in. But I just need to ask you about something. In fact, I need to tell you about something. Why are you being so fucking lazy with your streams, bro?
I've just been very busy with school, and I've just been doing this for fun, but I'm gonna get serious about it. I heard your advice. I'm gonna start actually building dockets, getting to work. These streams have all been like very spontaneous, like 5 minutes of like gathering shit beforehand. I admit I'm not a great streamer right now, but it's a work in progress. I will get better. It will happen.
Yeah, of course. Because I need to look. I hate to do this, okay, but I feel like it's absolutely essential that I question you about this because, well, I think that you're kind of lashing out at others when your own house isn't in order. I believe that you made a comment in regards to Nicholas Diorio. I'm trying to find the tweet, but I can't seem to find it offhand. I believe you quote tweeted him with some sort of mean comments about his stream. Do you want to just speak on that for me?
That was a joke. I'm friends with Nick. That was a joke.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, I shifling as a joke. I'm friends with Nick. We have like a kind of a banter like back. That was completely a joke. I don't think that. Obviously, I don't think that. I like Nick's streams. I'm a fan of his streams. When I say shit like nobody's watching, little bro, or like I'm just fucking. It's banter. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I like Nick.
No, that's fine. I've heard Nicholas repeatedly, want to get you off the call. During the election stream. So
It's three. Okay, you have to go. This is like 5 years of lore, or not 4 years of lore that you're not caught up on. But like it's a long running bit. I will say that. And if you're not in it, from the outside it looks serious. But no, me and Nick are chill. But publicly, yes. If you had no context, it would look like we despise each other.
Okay, yeah. The other thing you mentioned as well, which I thought was interesting, is like you're talking about these side characters becoming main characters, and you mentioned like Queeman and mrow. So what's the situation there?
Oh, so I've just like I've been in like commentary for like 5 years, 6 years longer than I should have, or earlier than I should have when I was a fucking kid. And like every year I'll take a break and come back, and there's all these people that I'm not caught up on or haven't met before. So it's like a joke. Like every season, dude, there's all these new people. I don't know what their lore is. People are like talking about Himpleton and shit in my chat. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Or like Queeman. It's like, dude, they weren't here last season. What's going on? Apparently I did talk to some of these guys back in the day, but like one-off conversations. I didn't really remember it. But I like Queeman as much as I shit on the guy. Himpleton seems all right. mrow, he's performance tonight, very very good performance. Maybe Queeman needs to react a little harder, but
Yo, dude. What are you talking about? The dead air. The dead air.
The dead
claims.
air. The dead air. The dead air. I'm probably a little guilty of it too, but sometimes I just like to sit in his chat and wait for the dead air, just so I could like react harder. And yes, I may have some alts with Lumpy Willy branding that have been in some people's chats. I'm making a one guy compilation, but yeah.
Oh yes, of course. You got me, didn't you, with your one guy thing?
I've gotten you about 4 times.
4 times? No way. You got me once.
4 times.
You got me once,
4
dude.
times, 4 different alts. Mike Hunts, Mr. Cool, Grumpy. I forget the other. I've gotten you 4 times.
4 times.
Maybe,
Bro, that's crazy.
4 times. You're gonna make up the bulk of my compilation, and it's gonna be 8. I'll be satisfied with 8.
Wait, I'm gonna make up the bulk of a compilation. What are you trying to say? That I get one guide a lot? That's ridiculous.
True, and Queeman, I got Queeman like 4 times too. So.
No, Queeman is also a particularly bad offender at getting one guide, I must say.
But it's so entertaining. I now try and do it. I literally try and read every negative chat, like when they comment, because I realize, like, from an audience perspective, it is so entertaining to watch people mauled at the chat. So, like,
yeah,
I don't know. Keep it up, bro. Keep it up. Get mad.
It's a secret balance you got to find between actually being annoyed and agitated. You can't make it totally fake, right? But also not spurging out too much that you just become an endless source of like prodding, and your whole stream is spurging out, right?
That is true. I went on like a rant at people over complaining about my time zone or whatever, that kind of shit. But yeah, I took the lolcow live strat, faking drama, faking outrage, Boogie 298, white guys for Harris. It seems to be very effective for them. Seems to be working for them. So.
Okay, if you've got time, I just want to bring mrow in as well, because...
yeah, no problem.
Okay, great. Let me just add him real quick here. Okay, I think it's going to go to a different call. Okay, there we go. There we go. Mrow. Damn.
Alright.
I feel like that last call I watched with you, I, was very bothered by your spurging. This call seems to have gone very differently.
Let's get to the point. Am I back in the house?
Bro. I don't even know if you were out of the house necessarily. Where is this now came from?
I'm fucking around, dude. Well, people were like DMing me like, dude, Chud fucking hates you, and I'm like, what? Why does Chud hate me? And they're like, you saw you spurg, and I'm like,
oh my god, dude.
Oh no,
bro,
it's over.
Dude, it's so crazy to think that people take stuff so seriously.
It was funny.
I mean, I was just trying to, as always, be fair, but also just give my take on it. Obviously, we had a good conversation before, but I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, mrow did nothing wrong when I think I don't like how he's handling this. Do you know what I mean?
No, I definitely got to find a better middle ground, because I like spurging. It might be hard to believe when I say this, but that was mostly fabricated. I was trying to make like an entertaining clip because I thought the stream was boring. It was just fucking lyrics like, oh, you lied, and then fucking whatever the guy's, I forget, I'm blanking on his name, but he's like, no, I didn't lie. Yeah, Cam Nuggets. And I was like, dude, this fucking sucks. Let me scream at this guy to make a funny clip or something.
Yeah, sure. I think the other thing as well is with Cam Nuggets in particular, it's kind of like the equivalent of getting like someone with Down syndrome, tying them up and beating them with sticks, because he's just so stupid. Like, I don't think he's obviously lies and that's bad, but I think it's a product of him just being a total retard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I'm good at being the opposite of whoever I'm talking to, because Jalyn's like freaking out, I'm really calm, and then Cam Nuggets is calm and I'm like freaking out. I think that should be my play. I like mirror the other person, but I'm like the evil, bizarro, fucked up version of them.
I mean, it's a bit gay, but like matching energy is actually quite a good way of doing it, and generally, you'll kind of do okay doing that, I think. Like matching what they're doing. If they're chill, be chill. If they're agitated, be agitated, and yeah. But I mean, a lot of this is just kind of like for fun, really, isn't it? So,
that's how I'm trying to take it. That's why I was so quick to be like, dude, let's leave this call, because that Jalyn call, that was...
Dude, I felt so hypocritical, because I'm like, yeah, go on, keep going, and then Jalen's in my chat, and I'm like, I'm not going to bring Jalyn on, because obviously, they're a total freak. Don't know what they're going to say. So,
dude, I was terrified. Dude, I thought I made this person like legitimately cut themselves. I was like, dude, we gotta get out of here. This is bad.
Right, yeah, okay.
From our perspective, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. And Jalyn has sent me, since this happened, like 70 uninterrupted DMs. And right now, just this moment, Jalyn is DMing me, "Fuck you." I don't know, dude. I wish the best, despite the result of the stream.
Jalyn in that fucking stream was like, "Mrow's my friend." Here, I'll post the DMs here. You don't have to bring him up on stream. I don't care if you do. But this is the entirety of our DMs. I don't know why they think I'm their friend.
Okay. Right. So yeah, I mean, quite limited from the looks of it here. So, also, one thing I think you might have been incorrect on is that children can consent to medical staff. That seems to be almost entirely incorrect with no backing, at least in the US and the UK. Meow. I hope you feel better, man. I don't want to have to block you, but I'm not going to encourage whatever's happening right now. Don't call me that, you stupid cat. You're a furry. Okay. Are you a furry?
No.
Oh, shit.
Oh. No.
Okay.
Don't ask him about his Twitter likes.
I feel like a Nazi asking a Jew for their papers, to be honest with you.
Okay, do you want... I can... Dude, I built my PC. I downloaded Discord, and I was like, let me think of a username. And I was like, mrow. I picked something random. And then I started my YouTube, and I was just like, let me just use my Discord name, right?
Okay.
And I didn't realize the repercussions of creating like a cat avatar for YouTube until people started calling me a furry. But at this point, it's too late. I can't rebrand now. I have to deal with being berated and being harassed for having a cat avatar. It's horrible.
Okay, can you? One thing I wanted to ask you about is you mentioned this thing, Schrodinger's retard. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Do you not? Oh, do you not know what Schrodinger's retard is?
I'm pretty sure I do. I just want you to explain it for content sake.
Okay, so at least what I think Schrodinger's retard is. Maybe I'm incorrect. I don't know. Correct me, obviously. I think Schrodinger's retard is when someone is having like a serious discussion or a serious debate or whatever. They're being relatively serious, and then someone comes in and they're like, "Oh, you're being retarded," and they're like, "Oh no, I was just trolling. Like I wasn't being serious. I can't be retarded. I was just trolling." It's very easy to see in action. I think that's what I think it is.
Yeah, no, that's the way I see it. It's like they try and simultaneously make serious points, and then within a second they're trolling, and it's because they can't actually back up the points they're making. It happened multiple times with Jalyn. Jalyn would try and make a serious argument and clearly didn't have the ability, knowledge, IQ points to do it, and then would just be like, KYS, you're a retard, da-da-da, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very frustrating. What did you think of that, Aiden?
Yeah. I think this is one of Jalyn's most common strategies, and I don't even know if some of the time it's trolling. Like there's been times where people have tried to debate Jalyn, and with like full raging anger in Jalyn's voice, Jalyn has just screamed the N-word. It sounded like what you would expect to hear from like the POV of like a fucking slave in like 1860s Mississippi. It was the hardest N-word I've ever heard in my life. Like
Yes.
I don't know. I think Jalyn is like trolling to some extent, but like part of it, I feel like there is like a serious rage there where the only like response is like KYS, and then there's also Schrodinger's disinterest where you kind of feign the disinterest, and even though you've been arguing for it, and that's kind of what happened when we brought Jalyn in. I don't know, really cringe tactic.
Yeah, no, for sure. Why is it that after all these years, Jalyn is still... I mean, I know they're kind of still present, but Jalyn, for some reason, has kind of captured this interest in people. There's like multiple people that have made videos about them. Why? What's that all about?
Nobody behaves as unpredictably. Nobody behaves as... I've never met anyone in all of my time online who is like this... I guess insane, I guess is the right word. Like the response, first of all, people can always get a response. Like Jalyn feels the need to respond to everything, and the response is always insane. And it's the same reason lolcows exist. Like people can just farm them for content, and Jalyn will respond to literally everything with just pure insanity. And sometimes, the other thing too is like be on one hand, like Jalyn will make takes like talking about gassing all religious people, and then on the other, like complain about trans jokes made towards them. And it's like there's just so much there. There's just so much there in one person. That's probably why Jalyn is like can't even. It's such a rabbit hole.
They are extremely mentally ill, and they refuse to fix anything about themselves. if you watch some of their older videos, like they just don't wash their hair. Like I was surprised when they streamed today, their hair was like washed, like it looked clean and it looked brushed, and I was like, oh my god, this is like I was shocked. I was like, okay, we one step forward, two steps back, it seems. But like Aiden said, there is a lot. Like he has something for the moral frogs, if you will, like the religious stuff, the trans jokes and stuff like that, and then just the freakish like freakouts, the meltdowns that people like to talk about on streams and like document, kind of like Chris Chan style. Like it's literally like the perfect representation of a lolcow. It's insanely interesting.
I mean, on that note, how do you think being trans plays into all of that for Jalyn?
Okay.
From my experience, this might get a little based. You got to tard wrangle me if I go a little too based here.
Just you know, as long as it's no TOS stuff, we're good. Okay.
Okay. From my experience, and from what I've seen and read about and stuff, mental illness tends to stack. So when you have someone who has something like depression, usually that's going to be accompanied by something like BPD. That's going to be accompanied by something like anxiety, something like that. So when you have someone with gender dysphoria, they're going to be accompanied with something else, right? So it's either going to be like something like depression, anxiety, BPD, schizophrenia, whatever. I don't know why mental illness tends to stack. I don't know if it's just like an innate pattern I'm sensing or something. But it seems like if Jalyn genuinely does have gender dysphoria, more than likely they have something else going on there that is leading predominantly to these sort of meltdowns or experiences, maybe.
Many say that autism and the trans stuff are kind of linked. A lot of these people are transphobes, though. So, Aiden, what do you think about that? Autism and trans being linked? Is that anything in that?
Okay, well, there is comorbidity. There is comorbidity between the two. I will admit it, especially online, and just from personal experience, every trans person I've met is diagnosed with autism. So I'll admit, I mean, that's anecdotal though. Although I do know maybe 20 plus trans people, but there's a comorbidity there. There is. I don't know why that's the case. It just is. That doesn't change my stance on it, but that probably explains some things going on there. The other thing too is like, I don't even know if this is the case. Like a lot of the people online in general are pretty autistic, so I don't know if we're getting like maybe like not a good sample size of the trans community. I'm not sure, but yes, there's a big overlap there. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it myself in the past. I don't know if I'd say it these days, but I have said it in the past, and I hear it still. Oh, the normal trans people are outside in the world. You know, they're just living their lives, doing their thing, and never seem to meet them in my day-to-day life. But maybe that's just because there's not very many of them. I don't know.
When I did restaurant work, my assistant manager was trans the entire year that I was a manager there, and I never knew it until they quit, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, that person was trans." So they exist. They're out there. You just don't figure it out. You don't figure it out until it's too late and they're gone. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think, someone that is just out there living their life probably does want to just live their life in that gender role or whatever, right? Whereas I think there's certain people online that seem to take great pleasure in not adhering to certain gender roles, i.e. having a beard as a woman and so on.
Don't you think it's so silly that trans people market themselves as trans people? They don't market themselves as the other gender? I always thought that to be so like weird.
Well, I think there's been the kind of a social change where it used to be back in the olden days. You lads are young, okay? So I'm going to need to teach you about the olden days here, okay? But it used to be you had transsexuals, and they were people that were trying to medically transition. They still accepted their base level sex, but they just wanted to transition to be as best a representation of the gender as possible. And then like transvestites who dressed up as women for a sexual fetish. And everything has been collapsed into just one umbrella now, trans. And I think it creates these kind of issues where,
sure,
the people that you're talking about who just want to live their life, they're now linked in to anyone from, maybe people like them all the way through to fetishists. And they're expected to all kind of coexist together under this one umbrella. And I think there's probably more value in having an understanding of, well, there's some people that, feel this way about it and want to transition fully. There's other people that just want to put on a dress and like the feeling of that, and we should treat these people differently. But Now it's like you got to treat everyone the same, essentially. And if you don't, you're transphobic. That's my perception of it, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you disagree, Aiden? You're quite woke on this, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm woke. I think that. So I told you, like, I go by what the evidence says, and for me, like, and I'm only talking about people with gender dysphoria. I know there's some people that don't have it diagnosed, and I will admit that there maybe is. Not most cases. There's probably some narcissists and like histrionics that feel the need to like latch on to this for attention. I'll admit, but for people with gender dysphoria, like, I do feel bad for them, and I understand how probably hard it is to like be them. And I try to be like, I don't want to fucking like make their life harder than it needs to be. I tend to criticize the behavior, not the identity. And I will admit that yes, there is some concerning behavior from many individuals.
Do you fear getting negative social pushback for giving like a take that isn't appropriately woke?
Sure. Yeah, probably to some extent. To some extent, yes. I as I said to you before, like we were talking about how opposition is kind of shot down. So sometimes I will admit, yeah, maybe there's times where I want to question something where I haven't, or I've wanted to like criticize something where I haven't. But I agree with you. Like,
I can sense it in you. I sense this fear, and I just want to let you know the times have changed. Trump is now president, okay? You're golden. I'm being a bit facetious, but, you know, you genuinely do not have to fear the social repercussions as much. BreadTube is long dead, you know. Turkey Tom can say the N-word. It's all good, you know? I don't know.
Maybe it's a different time. Maybe it's a different time.
Because obviously, you know, it's not to say that you should say, you know, edgy things for the hell of it, right? But it's just that you probably don't need to worry about, you know, social backlash quite as much as you had to probably when you were more running your channel like 4 years ago or so. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I agree with you, and I hang around with a bunch of edgelords. I mean, so I'm kind of like, I moral police myself a lot, and like sometimes like I try not to. You saw it on stream. I'm so concerned with the ethics of shit, and I try not to make people like too. I don't know. I try not to go after people who are like vulnerable or shit. But I will agree with you that yes, it's very funny when I watch other people do it, and maybe one day I'll start.
Well, because the way I see it is like, I don't want my channel to get fucked, so I'm not going to bring someone on that might say the N-word, but it seems like you're genuinely, you know, wrangling over the ethics of someone harming themselves on your stream. And it's like, you know, so what? Like, as long as you're not telling them to do it, like, you shouldn't broadcast it or something necessarily, but like, you haven't done anything wrong and you're there going, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my God. And it's like, just chill out. It's all good. You know?
I guess, well, like, obviously this is not the same scale at all. I'm a fucking nobody, but like when you look at like Keem with the etiquette shit, right? Keem got a lot of like criticism for like with like platforming like a mentally like vulnerable individual and kind of taking digs at him. And ever since then, that's kind of like to some extent, obviously not to the extent where I've completely avoided talking to these people, but to some extent, like I have always been a little worried that like, oh shit, like what if you do push somebody over the edge by accident? Because when that happened, that was like pretty big moment for me. So to some extent, I guess there's like a little bit of a fear there. Like I don't want to like push somebody over the edge.
I see where you're coming from, but you know, what did you say at the start there? Keemstar did this, Keemstar did that, right? People remember at least. You'll go down in history on the internet at least. Even if it's bad, at least people will remember you. Do you not see any value in that?
True. Negative attention is good attention.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Morale would love to be responsible for someone topping themselves and it being broadcast, no?
Okay. Yes, but not for a couple of years. I'll do it when I'm like washed and done with, okay? Because that'll be a good note to like end things off on. But I got like a good year left in me at least, okay?
Okay. Well, listen, for some reason, Jalyn is, still in chat, clearly tapping into that local gene. If anything happens, it's not Aiden's fault, it's Keffels. So apparently Keffels is on the hook for this. So you're cleared, okay?
So based. Okay. Completely vindicated. Completely vindicated. All right, we're doing part 2 tomorrow, Jalyn. Get ready.
Okay. Anyway, listen, guys, that was it, really. I'm all I had to say about it. Anything else you want to add or say before we end this?
Nope. Nice for having
I
us
mean, at the
on.
beginning, you gave Aiden a bunch of advice. Do you have anything for me?
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Dude, I feel like the elder. It's so weird, dude. What the fuck?
Dude, you're easy to respect. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, dude, come on. I mean, to be honest with you, the thing I would say, God, this is so gay doing this live, but okay. The thing that I would say is what I noted was that yes, you had responded to at least what I thought was a mistake in the other call of not finding the right balance between. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's like finding the right balance. Like, if anything, you probably could have been a little bit more obnoxious at certain points in that call, But it's like, not to say, it's just finding the right balance. And I think that was a good step in the right direction. And you probably could have got a couple of jabs into Jalyn if you wanted to. But I know you were trying to do a more respectful
That was a little
debate.
gay, yeah.
No, it's fine. I understand what you were trying to do, and it's like, I think you say it right about finding the right balance. That's it, really. And I think that was, a good step in the right direction. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
And also, one more thing as well is, something that I thought was really good is you were obviously you've clearly looked into this trans kid shit from what I can see. You were saying things that I've read about and seen and stuff. And yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I regret. Yeah, it was such a fucking waste of time, dude. I need to play like more video games or something. This is fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's like, it's not like a massive social issue like that is,
No,
it's still worthy of some attention.
I'm joking, but yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's these things are changing so much. Like I read a couple weeks ago that like that some governments found out what a trans person is. It's like a mismatch of hormones in the mother's womb, and that's what makes a trans person. Like it's a legitimately a different brain in the body. But then recently I read something different, and it's like constantly this new flow of information all the time about fucking transgender shit, and it's like I feel like I just am becoming completely uninterested in it because I feel like I'm not able to ground myself in some logical reality, right? It feels like it's just new and different information fucking daily, and it's exhausting to try and stay up to date with it all.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's pretty crazy out there. Lots of information about it. The kind of female brain in a male body thing, I think, is like outdated. It was like an outdated conception of a way of trying to describe it, so like a normie would understand it, But yeah, it's all very confusing. But yeah, there we go. Thanks for coming on, guys. Pleasure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, take care.
Good luck.
God bless.
Dude, that was so gay. I can't believe I had to fucking say something nice on stream, dude. Very boring. I don't know. I thought that was fun. Queenman said last night you only like Gok because you can't get woman. Yeah, that's correct. Exactly right. You've nailed it. But there we go, guys. There is the Jalyn drama for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. Guys, I'm sorry to break it to you. I've only got about another 30 minutes before I need to go. Like I say, I've got duties to attend to. This week has been a bit weird. Obviously, I had to take Saturday off. Short stream today, earlier stream. But as of next week, we should be back to like normal content hours, okay? I'm not going yet. We need to do an update on a topic I covered the other day that was very entertaining. The dead air comments are getting to him. Queen went crazy about me. What did he say? What did he? It's banter. Listen, me and Queenman get on quite well. And I was talking some shit about him the other day, So it's only fair. Fair's fair, okay? Dead screen allegations. Why don't you ask the Keys about it? Dead air. Dude, that fucking, who is it? That weirdo. Femios was saying about the dead air thing. Earlier I noticed. The problem is it's fucking Jalyn's stream that's a dead air. It is difficult when, you're watching something to see if something happens. Obviously, you've not watched it at all. And then nothing's going on. And they're just sat there in some sort of drug-induced stupor. And you're like, okay, what? Is anything going to happen or should I fucking move on?